Hey you guys, let's talk unleashing inspiration. So what better place than the ocean to talk about unleashing inspiration? So the three things I want to talk about with unleashing inspiration is being limitless, being resilient, and being priceless. So I thought the ocean would be the best setting because when we're by the ocean or by the sea, in my case right now I'm in Varna, Bulgaria, so I'm by the sea. But anytime we're by the sea or by the ocean or by a limitless lake like Lake Michigan, we're reminded how small we are in the grand scheme of things. And we're also reminded how limitless possibilities are. So like when you take a grain of sand, one grain of sand is super, super tiny, but it makes up this whole sand bed. And it makes up all the sand on the beach, so all the particles. So limitless. So starting to think about yourself and starting to think about your life as limitless. Then resilience. Resilience is so important. I find so many times where we'll create these stories in our minds and keep replaying the same dynamic over and over and over again. Whether it's in our health, whether it's in our wealth, whether it's in our business, in our relationships, or the possibilities of travel, or the possibility of creating a life and a business you love anywhere, anytime, location independent, being fearless, being limitless. Or if you choose to be like I do, that I love to have roots. So I currently live in Atlanta, and I love to have roots, but also have wings. Or like I like to say, my head is in the clouds, but my feet are on the ground. So it's this dance of meeting in the middle, right? So limitless, resilience. And then the last thing is pricelessness. And this has come up for me quite a bit recently for several reasons. So I want to talk about it from the vein or the perspective of that we're all priceless human beings. We all have passions, we all have a purpose, and we can all be, do, and have limitless things. But the thing is oftentimes we create these stories that XYZ is impossible, or you have to have XYZ resources, or you have to have XYZ money. It's reframing your mind to say, you know what, I'm going to take these steps, I'm going to take these leaps of faith, and I get to keep going. And I get to keep growing through that, and that the people and the resources and everything will show up. Now, will it look how possibly you thought? Not necessarily, but it's having that faith and having that belief and having that resilience to overcome different things. So for example, one thing, it's October and it's both Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but it's also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And part of my story is, you guys, I went through an abusive relationship in my early 20s. And, and I could have gotten stuck in that. I could have stayed in that and continued the story of I'm not worthless, I'm not worth it, this is what love is, and stayed there. And I did fight for it. I did fight for it a number of different ways, literally. I could have recreated the same story with a different person. And my prayer was at the time when it happened and I realized the full ramification of the situation I was in, was God, please don't let this define me. Please don't let this continue to be my story. Please help me to transform my mindset. So that's an aspect of my story that has to do with resilience. And, a lot of people would ask me, or when I shared my story and I started sharing my testimony about it back in college when we were doing different things with our nonprofit with domestic violence, people would come to me and they would say, I never would have imagined you were in an abusive relationship. I could have never pictured you. And then I would question that and I would ask in the seminars or in the stories, and I still bring this up. Well, what does a domestic violence victim look like? The reality is it's all shapes and sizes. It's all nationalities, it's women of all different backgrounds, and sometimes people have this stigma or this belief that it looks a certain way, But it doesn't. It could be your sister, your friend, it could have been you. Maybe it was you at some point. Maybe it is you at this point. But my message is to you with that resilience is, number one, you're worth it. You're worth a love that is priceless. You are priceless. You're worth a love that is compassionate, that cherishes you, that values you, that honors you, that respects you. And that's the conversation I had to start having with myself. So that's part of my resilience journey. And it wasn't easy, you guys. There was layers and onions of things, or layers like an onion of things that I got to grow through. You know, I went to a counselor in college. I later went to, you know, a small group through our church several years ago. I later went to personal one-on-one counseling. Then I went to another personal one-on-one counselor because I realized the framework and the mindset that had developed, that I had created years and decades ago, and the judgment that I held against myself. And so with pricelessness, it's looking and realizing you are a priceless human being, and operating from that vein of that you're worthy and deserving of love. You're worthy and deserving of abundance. You're worthy and deserving of freedom. You're worthy and deserving of passion, of purpose, of people, of profits. You're worthy and deserving of joy. You're worthy and deserving of peace, of money, of community, of all these different things that life has to offer. But it's believing in it for yourself, because what I found years ago is I would manifest or create things, and just as quickly I would then lose them because my foundation wasn't that I was worthy or deserving. So it's coming to believe that for yourself. So it is my hope that as you unleash inspiration, that you focus on being, doing, and having a limitless life, that you focus on being, doing, and having resilience, and that it's possible for you to overcome anything and everything and help others along the way, and that it's possible for you to be, do, and have pricelessness. And when you operate from a vein of pricelessness first, then you realize why and how you may have judged conditionally or unconditionally, and that you have a choice to look at yourself and love yourself unconditionally, and then forgive and hold space for others that judge you conditionally, whether it's results in your health, whether it's results in your money, whether it's results in your business, in your relationships, whatever is that for you. So transform and inspire, because you were born to.